time for the weekend grill. We're joined by family therapist Phillip. Good morning to you, Karen, and journalist Angela Muller. Angela, good morning. First up, check this out. A viral video showing different reactions to what at first appears to be a kidnapping.
Watch this young boy. The man you see with him appears to be a stranger, trying to coax the boy to go with him.
I have candy, I have TV.
Now, watch what happens when the boy tries to get help.
This man in a jacket, he tried to get me.
Instead of helping,
He said some guy should have put him in his car, I don't know. I'm his father.
he walks away, even shaking the stranger's hand. Thankfully, this kidnapping is actually a staged scene. The boy and the alleged stranger are in on it, but the people they encounter are not.
It's frightening, isn't it? Some people rushed in to defend the child. Others just simply let him go with the man, accepted his explanation and even shook his hand. What do you think about that, Karen?
I think most of us don't really expect to see an abduction in front of us. We just don't. So this whole video is a brilliant way to raise our awareness as adults, to step in if we need to. Look, the worst thing that we can do if we don't want to confront somebody and we're fearful of their reaction, take a photo of them. Just get a photo of the child and the parent, so-called parent, but you know, do something. But I think a lot of us are very fearful, and we're not sure if my child's acted like that, or they're just throwing a tantrum. We don't know.
What about the, like, social minefields, like at the playgrounds, for instance? You know, you're down at the park, you see something that looks a bit strange. Are you the type who would intervene and go and check out? Are you actually his father?
Yeah, well, you're right, absolutely right, Cam, because a lot of dads are older these days. You've got grey-haired dads, you've got dads that you could, you know, that could reasonably be grandparents, or they could be pedophiles. Look, I'm a former news reporter, so I've seen the worst of stories. I've written about JC Dugard, and I've written about Natasha Kumpush and all these, and the Cleveland. I'm fully aware, so I'm the step-in person, and it's a risk, it's uncomfortable to do that. There's a couple of times I've done it. I'm always glad I have. Those situations have been okay, but the children haven't seemed okay, and I think it's always better to be careful. And what we saw with that video is that some people just don't like the confrontation and the discomfort of it. You know, these are children's lives. You can never be too careful.
You know, as long as you do it the right way. If someone approached me and said, "Are you really that girl's father?" I'd be less offended than relieved that at least someone out there is checking.
And that's exactly right, exactly right. And I don't think most parents would mind at all. Of course, if you weren't the parent, then there would tend to be perhaps a confrontation, and that's when you know you need to call triple O.
And I think the one tip there is look at the child's behaviour, not at the adults. Whatever the child is doing is probably closer to the truth.
Yes.
One of my girls in particular can act like I'm not his father. Part-time work has long been sold as a manageable option for working mothers, but a new investigation has revealed that employees are having to squeeze 5 days of work into 3. This is rubbishing the idea of flexi working hours and work-life balance. Angela, is the idea of part-time work a giant hoax, or is it achievable?
Oh, ain't that the truth? Yeah, look, I'm a part-time worker, but I don't work part-time, and I've gone through this horrible conundrum. I think the hard thing is that jobs are insecure. A lot of us are in freelance positions, or we're on part-time contracts. You know, working has never been more insecure than it is currently now. We all want to say yes all the time. We always want to be accommodating. But also the other major change is that work has become more amorphous. We used to go to an office or a factory and stay there and go home at 5 o'clock and have dinner, and that was the end of it. The nature of technology has meant that that's just blown into all areas of our lives, weekends and everything. And I think instead of just negotiating money and terms and superannuation, we should actually be negotiating our emotional health in that process and what we actually want to do with our families, and being honest about it. And
as you said, with the new jobless figures that have just come out, they're also quite confronting and scary for a lot of people. So they are fearful of whether their job is secure. So it is very industry specific though. I mean, more corporate, you are expected to do a lot more. If you have a job where you are a teacher or a nurse or work in a shop, you go, you do your few days, you come home. That's not a problem. It's more the corporate industry.
All right, let's move on to love.
Love.
Let's finish with love. It's an age-old question. The Beatles said money can't buy you love, but maybe it really can. A new study has found the higher your income, the more likely you are to have found love, with only a tiny percentage of those earning more than $83,000. Apparently that's the critical threshold. Below $83,000, you run the risk of never falling in love. Above, it reaches 17. You know, it gets better and better as you go higher and higher in the earning bracket. You are going to find love. Angela?
What What utter rubbish. I mean, do you believe it?
Well, you've got two identical guys, right? And they're both hard-working, honest blokes, and they're both in the same job, and they are literally identical. One earns $1 million a year, and one earns $83,000 a year. Which one's more attractive?
The one that you're attracted to, irrespective of their money. The one that makes it
chemistry.
Yeah, the one that makes your heart flutter, and the one you want to kiss, the one you want to drag off.
You know,
It's a very sexist question. We're not saying that men find love with women who earn more.
No, well, I actually think that's changed as well, and I think a lot of friends of mine are on the kind of internet dating scene, and they say that they're quite often asked questions about what car they drive, about where they live, and you know that men are actually looking for those elements and qualities too.
It's opposite with the women. Usually, the women find that. Opposite with for the women. The men find women that are very successful and wealthy, rather intimidating.
Yeah.
So they tend to go the quite opposite way.
You know, going to America for the first time many years ago, I couldn't believe people would pay for bottled water. And we all pay for bottled water now. And I couldn't believe that all the questions are about where did you go to school?
Oh, yes.
What's your job? And how much do you earn? Just bang, bang, bang like that.
So we're more subtle.
That's happening
We're
out
more
here.
subtle. No, we're way more subtle. What car do you drive?
Right.
That's ours.
No, the two best questions I reckon on a date are what are you passionate about and what keeps you awake at night? Those are
What keeps you awake at night?
Oh, everything can. Don't start.
All right, fine. We've been asking viewers to write in today and tell us about their Valentine's Day celebrations or not. Did you celebrate, Kate?
Of course, Valentine's
What
Day,
happened?
absolutely. Well, I got up in the morning and a beautiful card, and I got a voucher for a facial and a pedicure and a manicure, and then I went to get in my car to go to work, and there's a dozen roses.
Oh,
That's her husband.
That's my husband.
That's gorgeous,
God,
Wayne.
he's romantic, isn't
Look
he?
at him.
He is, and I sent him those.
Yeah.
So we both do that. We went out to dinner last night. Oh, look, it's a day, another day to express how much we love and adore each other. I think it's wonderful.
Aren't they beautiful?
You need to take the time.
Oh, look at them. They put us to shame, these guys. Can I just say, every week, I've known Karen for, 4 or 5 weeks now, these guys are the couple. You know what? We should be having her on a 2-hour show telling us how to find love and keep it. But did you do anything?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I was working yesterday.
Yes, I know, but you could have picked up a phone and ordered a bunch of roses.
Yeah, but they're really expensive yesterday and they die quickly.
I think there's nothing more romantic than keeping a roof over your loved one's head.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Williams, that doesn't cut.
Excuse, not a reason.
Okay, Angela?
Yeah, well, breakfast and a nice conversation.
You were lying awake at night worrying. All right, Layla, how about you?
Oh, you're so romantic, providing shelter. I can't believe the lengths you go to. Thanks, Cam.